Hello friends, this is Austin Burns. I'm here to give you your first guitar lesson, so let's get started. The song that I'm going to do today is Amazing Grace. It's in the key of G, which is a great guitar key. It has about 4 chords, G, D7, C, and E minor, and that's it. They're all variations of that with different bass notes, but we're not going to get into the bass notes right now. We're just going to learn some chords. But first, what you need to know about your guitar is it needs to be in tune. So if you have your guitar, make sure that you get a tuning app for your phone or an actual tuner. I use a Guitar Tuna, T-U-N-A. You hit the note, turn the knob, and get it in tune. Trying to think if there's anything I need to explain about that. Make sure that you're not cranking it too much, because if you do that really fast, you might break your strings, especially if they're new strings that you just put on your guitar. But as long as you're reasonably careful and turn the knobs somewhat slowly, you should be fine. Once you've got your stuff in tune, then we're going to get a little acquainted with the guitar before I teach you these 4 chords, okay? So these 4 chords can be used in a lot of different songs. So, as long as you have these chords in the most common guitar key, G, then you can use those chords in a million different songs. If you've ever seen Axis of Awesome, they have a whole video about, how every pop song has 4 chords. Not completely true, but it's pretty accurate. Anyway, the 4 chords we're going to work on here are G, D7, C, and E minor. Before we get started on the chords, we're going to look at finger numbers, okay? If you're right-handed, we'll be using your left hand. If you're left-handed, you'll be using your right hand. So for right-handed people using our left hands, this is going to be fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you're left-handed, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Basically, on this chord chart, I list the finger numbers and where they're going to go on each of the strings. We're going to start off with the G chord first. The notes in a G chord, G, B, and D. Okay? So, we're going to make this E string, going to make that note into a G. So, if you know the piano keyboard, E, F, F sharp, and G, right? And now this string, the first and the last, or I'm saying it backwards, the last, first, I don't know, are both E's, right? So that makes sense why this note is going to be the 3rd fret, and this string, right, is going to be on the 3rd fret. And then we've got the last note. We're going to make this A into a B. So A sharp, B. So now we've got G and B and G, and then the other open strings fill out that chord. So it looks like this. We've got finger number 1 going here on the 2nd string from the bottom, right? So finger number 1, 2nd string from the bottom, 2nd fret. Then we've got 2nd finger. It's going on the 1st string, the lowest note, the 1st from the bottom. 1, 2, 3rd fret, right? Okay? So like that. And then you're using your 3rd finger, finger number 3, it's going to go on the 1st string on the 1, 2, 3, on the 3rd fret. And now you want to hit from the bottom like that. Next, what we have is the D7 chord. The D7 chord looks like a triangle. It's going to be like this. We're going to take finger number 1, 5th string from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to use our 1st finger to be on the 1st fret. Okay? The 2nd finger here, we're going to put on the 1, 2, 3, 4. 4th string from the bottom, 2nd fret. Okay? Now, our 3rd finger here, we're going to go from the 6th string from the bottom, or the 1st at the top, on the 2nd fret. All right, so that's a D7 chord. So we did the G chord, we did the D7 chord, now we need the C chord. So the C chord, we're going to use finger number 3. All right, we're going to go on the 2nd from the bottom, 3rd fret. The 2nd finger, finger number 2, we're going to go on the 3rd string from the bottom, and we're going to go on the 2nd fret. And finger number 1 here is going to go on the 5th string. That's what it sounds like open, from the bottom, on the 1st fret. Okay? All right, so just a quick note about hand position, because I was actually doing something really bad. I had my finger way over here. You're supposed to have your finger kind of in the middle, the back of the guitar, like that. So you can kind of use that to arch your hand. So a lot of times when people are beginning guitar, they aren't putting their fingers around enough. They kind of have it flat like this, and then you're muting a lot of strings, so you get a sound like that instead of like that. Okay? So if you're having trouble with any of these chords, this D7, this G chord, then it might have to do with you not arching your hand enough. Okay? And there I am again, using my finger in the wrong way. But get the idea. The last one is the E minor chord. So we had the C chord. Now we're going to E minor. E minor is a much easier chord. So on the 2nd string from the bottom, the A string, we're going to put our 1st finger on the 2nd fret, right there. On the 3rd string from the bottom, so that's the D string, we're going to put our 2nd finger on the 2nd fret. And then we're going to strum from the bottom, the E string. That's our E minor chord. All right, so now that I've taught you the chords, G, D7, C, E minor, I'm going to play it for you with the bass notes and everything, some fancier guitar techniques than what we're going to go over. So you'll just get a sense of, where you can be a little later in guitar. And then I'll take it back to some simple strumming patterns, and we'll go over kind of switching chords just by, going back and forth between the chords and not really worrying about the bass notes. But right now, I'll do it, full fanciness. All right. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now